Okay, we're going to call the 24th meeting, Village Board of Trustees, the Village of Depew, March 11th, 2024, and we're at 7:03. Pledge of Allegiance by Trustee Kraft.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a second. Within the chambers of our being resides a wellspring of untapped potential, a reservoir of strength that knows no bounds. May we, with unswerving resolve, recognize our capacity to create change, both within the tapestries of our personal lives and in the world beyond. Let empowerment become the anthem that propels us towards a brighter, more compassionate future. Amen. And I've not said that before. That must have been Chesky.
No, we don't do it.
No?
No.
All right. Notifications of fire exits by Trustee Hamilton.
The emergency exit is located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exit and evacuate the building.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hammerneck.
Here.
Trustee Zimba.
Here.
Trustee Kraft.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Here.
And Mayor Peterson.
Here. First item tonight, approve the village board meeting minutes from the February 26, 2024 meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption to approve the village board meeting minutes from February 26, 2024.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Second item is approve the village board special meeting minutes from March 1st of 2024.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we approve the Village Board special meeting minutes from March 1st, 2024.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we'll go over each of the agenda items, and our guests tonight will be able to comment initially on those items. Later on tonight, before we go to executive session, there'll be an open comment section. So first up tonight is we'll be doing the public hearing on the tax cap override. You want to give a little bit on that? So the tax cap override is 2%. Everybody knows that. We really don't know exactly what the number is going to be at this point. We are taking, Regina is in charge of the tentative budget, which is due out in the third week of this month. Then there'll be a public hearing on that tentative budget. And from the tentative budget, the rest of the village board will review it and make appropriate changes to that tentative budget. But that's the administrator's primary focus at this time of the year is the tentative budget and then the budget. So in the event not knowing what it looks like, except for having done the budget meetings from the departments, everybody put in their Christmas wish list, if you would, and that's where we start when it comes to the tentative budget. We had requests of additional employees or additional vehicles or additional overtime. We have to look at the rate of inflation. We need to look at the health insurance. Right now, we're in the middle of looking at changing our health insurance. So we have a meeting later on this month because health insurance, again, will be another double-digit increase. Trash pickup usually goes up by the cost of inflation as a minimum. Cost of vehicles, we did not buy any police vehicles this year, so we're going to have to take a hard look at that, and that could be an increased number.
Increases in our other insurance policies as
Yes,
well.
yep. Workers' comp, what else?
Comp, the
Disability,
disability, firefighters, our vehicle insurances.
yeah. So some numbers we don't have hard numbers for. The insurance number obviously will be a best guess estimate on Regina's part. because we will not even have had the meeting. We need to meet with the unions before we make any changes. It's not like we can just simply change companies to save money, so there's a little bit of cooperation that's going to be needed with that. So anyway, that's why we do the tax cap override. Next item is advertise the tentative budget, so authorization for Regina to put in a written notice for a public hearing, and that'll be on the 25th. We're doing it a little bit early, I guess, advertise for the reorg meeting, which maybe not, that'd be April 1st.
Yep.
And that's when we don't have any elections this year in the village, but we do look at everybody's responsibilities. We have a new member in the fire department going to the West End Hose Company. That last name sounds very familiar. We have a waive the fee. This is for a sign for the Depew High School and their musical. Typically, we don't charge not-for-profits or our school system for sign permits. Then we have some adjustments to the budget. Do you have any?
Those are from the auction results, so moving them to some other department line items in the police, DPW, and fire department.
Yeah,
to
so-
help with some budget.
If I remember right, we sold the one cruiser for $22,084,
Yep.
so that goes back into their line. We sold 2 salt trucks to the town of Cheektowaga. Thank you, town of Cheektowaga, appreciate that, for $56,356.
There were a few
Plus-
other miscellaneous
Yeah.
things with DPW in there.
And then we sold the boat from Depew Fire Department for $360 or so.
Yeah.
That's it for what's on the agenda. So if you two gentlemen, Paul or Dave, have any questions, or if anybody chimes in from our YouTube channel, anything that you would like to ask on those? Go ahead.
I won't take up much time. Paul Sprata, 58 Argus Drive.
All right, go, Paul.
The tentative budget, I'm just hoping that we don't turn into what Amherst has turned into with their budget. People are really uproared, and I don't live in Amherst, but I think if I was, I would be too, with the amount of money that they want.
Paul, I just rattled off a bunch of possible increases in cost. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
you
Plus,
have to look at those are real.
yeah.
And Paul,
Plus-
you have to remember Amherst had years and years of no tax increase, so a small tax increase prevents a big tax increase. These incremental things
Yeah.
have long-term benefits, so you don't see significant increase all at once.
And as long as you bring that up, I'm going to jump on my soapbox just a little bit, because they all heard it in the pre-board meeting. One of the things that the village never had to do 4 years ago, when I took over, is that when we changed the street lights out,
Yeah,
a big chunk of the money in Amherst of that 11.4% is $30 million bonding to change out their streetlights.
Yeah.
Granted, they have way more streetlights than we do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we had 1,400 about. Cost us $56,000. We wrote the check right away for it, and we've been saving money ever since.
And the first year, we saved 92,000.
We don't own the poles.
yeah.
We don't own the lights. I never wanted to own the lights or the poles. And if something goes wrong with them, we call NICEAG up and they come and fix them.
Yeah.
Cheektowaga, turns out they're doing the same thing. So for $13 million to Mr. Burkhart's side of the street as well, they're bonding up to $13 million to work with a private company. And the town of Lancaster did the same thing, but not to the quite the extent that the other two. So we took a different approach. It was a lot more economical, and we had return on our investment right away, 7 months in. So.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that we won't have an ugly number in 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
we'll have it, we'll see, you'll be able to ask questions, and the 5 of us here will get to work on it.
The other thing I wanted to bring up with the budget is, don't forget that we took out a $300,000 bond for the fire department. They wanted a new truck for their equipment.
No, we,
Didn't we take out a $300,000
that money is, that,
balance?
yeah, see, now you gotta remember, as we've talked about this, the monthly payments, although we are using a different vehicle to fund that, it's coming out of the interest we've been earning in the one account that we have.
Okay,
We have clearly over 125,000 maybe in that account. So there's more than a third of that right there.
yeah,
My hope is if that the interest rates continue to be what they are,
yeah, yeah,
that fire truck can be paid for with interest money, money that works for us.
okay. I'm just looking at the expenses that I can see. The other big expense that we had recently is the police department, their dispatch office. That was what, 250,000?
Yeah, 140 of that came courtesy of Frank Gennaro.
Okay. All right, that's all I got.
And that was one of the other things here, just so you know, it's in this year's budget, but we're gonna have to count 4 people retired from police department in the last 30 days, so
Yeah,
it's a lot of
still
money.
got to pay them retirement money.
Retirement, vacation days, sick
Right,
days, all that
right.
stuff, so those are the unknowns, so
Yeah, okay.
strap on the seatbelt and be ready to ride with us, Paul.
Okay.
All right, because we all pay taxes here, and we don't want them any higher than they have to.
I know, I'm on a fixed income too.
I am too.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome. All right, come on up, Dave.
See, Paul triggered some.
Dave Burker, 5 Lee. As far as paying the retirement, I thought a government entity like a village or a town, you pay a certain amount every year to the state, and the state's actually covering their retirement.
Yes, yeah, you're correct. It's not retirement that we're paying out, it's their benefits that they have here.
Yeah, this is not their
It's not their
actual retirement check.
Yeah, yeah, everything's through.
These are all the fringes
Yeah.
that,
Okay, now I get it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you know the a roundabout number, what we have in the reserve right now.
what was it,
4?
just under 4?
yes, it was.
Yeah, just under 4 million.
Okay, so we could, depending on the increase, we could dip into that too.
We always do every year.
Yeah, it's,
And the reason is that it helps make it palatable to you
Right.
and me. And at the same time, we keep the monitoring of the departments. And they've all been under if you want to spend more than $2,500 since the first week in January, they have to get approval from the board. So, and I don't think we've had anybody spend that kind of money. That
We've had a few.
Couple?
that I've-
Okay.
Yeah, that I've authorized.
Not the building department.
I gotta say, I can't complain about the taxes, the way they've been going up for the last bunch of years. It's,
Well, I wasn't happy last year, just so you know.
well,
It-
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, and, yeah, I've made it really clear in our meetings that I will not be happy for another one like that, so.
Maybe I just have some rich friends that have a lot better houses than I do, but I've heard of people paying a lot more than taxes than I do.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah.
I can't complain.
yeah, good, thank you. All right. Ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
First item up is our public,
Would you like me to read the notice first? And then open it?
I read
this
it,
is usually,
but you have to open.
you open
your-
it,
yeah.
Open and then.
you open it,
And then Regina reads it.
second it,
Then Janelle will second it.
Then
and
you'll
I'll
read it,
yeah.
Regina? Great, thank you. Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for the tap cap override, opening at 7:17 PM.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This motion carries.
Be it resolved, the village administrator is authorized to advertise for a public hearing. The public hearing will be held on Monday, March 11th, 2024, at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043. The purpose of this hearing is to consider Local Law 1 of 2024, authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. If adopted, the proposed local law shall read as follows. Section 1, Legislative Intent. It is the intent of this local law to allow the Village of Depew to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1st, 2024, that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as defined by General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Section 2, Authority. This local law is adopted pursuant to Subdivision 5 of General Municipal Local Law, Section 3C, which expressly authorizes a local government's governing body to override the property tax cap for the coming fiscal year by the adoption of a local law approved by a vote of 60% of said governing body. Section 3, Tax Levy Limit Override. The Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, County of Erie, is hereby authorized to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1st, 2024, that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the amount otherwise prescribed in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Section 4, Severability. Tongue twister. If a court determines that any clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law, or the application thereof of any person, firm, corporation, or circumstance is invalid or unconstitutional, the court's order or judgment shall not affect, impair, or invalidate the remainder of this local law, but shall be confined in its operation to the clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law, or in any of its application to the person, individual, form, or corporation, or circumstance directly involved in the controversy in which such judgment or order shall be rendered. Section 5, Effective Date. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State.
Public hearing is open. Keep an eye on that in case somebody has something come in. Any questions, gentlemen? Okay. We'll give it a couple minutes, a minute or so. See if anybody comes in online. Okay, asking twice if there's any comments on the public hearing. Asking a third time. That being said,
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make the following motion for the tap cap override to close the open hearing at this time at 7:21 p.m.
I second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up is permission to advertise for the reorganization meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is hereby authorized to advertise for a public hearing for the tentative 2024-2025 budget to take place on Monday, March 25th, 2024, at 7 p.m. in the council chambers.
I second the motion.
Okay, just so that we're clear, I flipped 2 and 3, so we'll have the others do the, so all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, geez. Actually asked for a roll call vote. I'm so sorry. So, Trustee Amernick,
Yes.
Trustee Zimba,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph,
Yes.
and Mayor Peterson, yes. So we need to flip back, so if you guys could just flip your responsibilities here. So 2 was advertised for the tentative budget, and have Darren and Audrey take that if you would. Gotta go back to 2, we didn't do the,
That's what we just did.
You just did.
that's not what she read though.
No, that's what she read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I read, number 2.
Yeah, but we didn't do this one.
I think we did it right.
Yeah.
In the reorg,
No, we didn't do the reorg. We did the budget.
I read it off as the reorg, my mistake.
So that was a Scribner's error.
Scribner, I think that's a Scribner's error.
Scribner's,
the
oral
mayor's part.
Scribner's error, but that last vote was actually to
Yes.
advertise for a public hearing.
Yeah,
And the record
I have new
is for the
glasses.
tentative 2024-2025 budget. So the record is clear. And I think you're now moving on to agenda item.
So we did a
3.
little extra as far as who voted which way, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll do number 3, which is authorize village administrator to advertise for the reorg meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution, move for its adoption. The village administrator is authorized to advertise for the reorganization meeting to take place on Monday, April 1st, 2024, at 7 PM in the council chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I'll second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Hammernick.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
So I guess it's because it was the State of the Union last week. I was about watching the president. I'm trying to get a little bit of a safeguard. I need a Red Bull. I'm glad we can laugh about it. Number 4, permission for membership in the Depew Fire Department.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, membership is hereby granted to the following in the Depew Fire Department pending the passing of his physical. West End Hose Company, Christopher M. Gothier.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. So who is this in relation to former past Chief Gothier? Is this a relative? It must be relative.
I don't know. He's got a bunch of brothers, and there's a bunch in the family, Gothier. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Resolution number 5, permission to waive a permit fee.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas Depew High School, 5201 South Transit Road, Depew, New York, 14043, has requested permission to waive the sign permit fee for the portable temporary sign that is to be placed in front of the high school by Transit Road to advertise for their upcoming production of The Sound of Music, which runs March 15th and March 16th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the permission is hereby granted to Depew High School, 5201 South Transit Road, Depew, New York, 14043, to waive the sign permit fee for the portable temporary sign advertising their production of The Sound of Music.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution 6.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the administrator is hereby authorized to modify the 2023-2024 budget in the following manner. Number 1, revenues, 10.4.2270 for a cost of $22,084.28. Not a cost, but a revenue. Expenditures, 10.5.3120.107, $22,084.28. Number 2, revenues, 10.4.2270, $56,356.44. Expenditures, 10.5.1640.453, $56,356.44. Number 3, revenues, 10.4.2270, $364.28. Expenditures, 10.5.3140.403, $364.28.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote?
Trustee Hammernick.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Line 7, there were no applications, no employment applications in the last 2 weeks. And resolution number 8 is department head reports for the police, February 2024.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we accept the department head reports, police, 2024, February.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's also carried. Okay, so there's no unfinished or other business. Before we get to public concerns, we'll go around the room to each of the departments We'll start with our building department code enforcement officer, Don Bielfeld.
So obviously, spring's coming rather quickly this year, and grass cutting will be upon us before we know it, so please keep your yards cut and trimmed. And again, about the unregistered vehicles, we've sent out a number of violation letters for unregistered vehicles, but we still have a lot of them out there. We're going to be citing people to get that taken care of also.
What is the rule for that? Can it be stored in the garage?
It's stored in the garage. You could have one, well, if you have a large enough garage, you can have as many as you want. You can't have any out in open public view. It has to be licensed, it has to have a valid inspection sticker also. So, but we're finding
So if somebody has a classic car, maybe they're free.
classic car and you got it tarped up nice or something, you know, I mean, we're not looking for, you know, somebody who's got their Sunday driver under a tarp or something. We're looking for those unregistered vehicles with, you know, flat tires and broken down, will probably never be registered again. And they're just sitting there, and we're getting multiple cars built up now. I mean, they gotta go, you know.
It's got a cover on it.
Again,
You don't see it then.
yeah, if it sits there in the same spot long enough, we start to notice, you know what I mean? There's a couple of cars that have been under tarps that haven't moved in years, so that leads me to believe it's not really a roadworthy car or something, and it shouldn't be there. So, we don't go out and intentionally just try to bust people's chops, but it's starting to get to the point where I'm getting more and more complaints from referrals from the police that there's just a plethora of unregistered vehicles out there. So, they are on our radar, and we will be sending violation letters for them. Got it.
Anything else you can share?
Well, I got a couple new businesses. I always say this wrong. Pat's?
Pam's Puddings and Pies.
Pam's Pudding and Pies. They were the former Kentucky Greg's owners over there, and she makes really good desserts. I went and inspected the space today, told them what they needed to do to get it in the compliance, so that you'll see them very recently, or very soon they'll be up and running. It's next to the Air Force Recruiter, across from the Tim Hortons, next to Broadway there.
Yeah, it used to be Dave's
Dave's Soups or
David's Homestyle.
David Homestyle. Yeah.
pierogi place.
The new pierogi, so conversely, the old Kentucky Greg's Smokehouse is now going to be a pierogi shop. Or, you know, they're going to cook them there at least. And it's not a restaurant style, it'll be just takeout order-wise.
Okay.
And there's really got a lot of violations and stuff that we've been covering lately.
Well, we'll have more next time, right?
Yep, and we're going to be, I know I've gotten a lot of phone calls lately about houses that need to come down, you know, especially several on Main Street. We'll be tagging them for demolition, hopefully in the next month or so. We get caught up on things.
All right. Go to the other side of the room. Ken Pick from TPW.
Not too much. Tree cutting is winding down. We started stumping. There's no need to call. We will topsoil and seed it. The street sweepers were out for a few days, and they'll be back out, weather permitting, again after that. Go ahead.
Okay. Your crew did a tremendous job in here, lowering the ceiling, new tiles. Electric department changed out the lighting, so they have money-saving LEDs now, and the paint job looks great. Appreciate the efforts.
Get rid of them fans.
Our rec department, Kevin Ferguson.
We have 2 weekends of open skate left, and we have 2 learn to skate lessons left. And then we're done for the year with the rink. Coming up in the spring, on Mondays, we have kickball starting, Tuesdays floor hockey, Wednesdays softball, Thursdays we got volleyball, lacrosse, and fireman softball, and Friday you have another co-ed softball league starting. Those all get started in May, first week in June.
Floor hockey, what's the start date?
5/14.
You know where I'm going with that, right?
I do.
Okay. All right, we have a fire department report,
I do.
and Ms. Regina will read off Chief Musilak's report.
17 calls since the last board meeting, 66 calls year-to-date. Our apparatus replacement committee has a pre-construction meeting this Wednesday, and construction will then begin on the new utility truck. Working on getting more of the details on the volunteer firefighter incentive program for state training courses to be funded through the state, recently passed by Governor Hochul. I would like to thank Trustee Zimba for his assistance in getting 3 pallets of bottled water donated to the fire department for a pallet at each of our fire stations for our firefighters. And I'd also like to thank the DPW and Superintendent Ken Pick for their assistance with some recent projects at our fire stations. Respectfully submitted, Depew Fire Department Fire Chief Brian Muslek.
All right. Sam from legal.
Okay, so we got out a draft dumpster law that's going to have some fees meant to make it so there's timing enforcement on residential dumpsters and commercial dumpsters. Excluded from that are the permanent dumpsters that larger buildings have that are regularly picked up. So the hope is to have a public hearing on that in the next month or so. Trustee Adolph has stayed on top of me to make sure this got done. And we've got a strong working first draft. So more to come on that. And because apparently I did such a good job on that, I've got a laundry list of things to do, thanks to our work session earlier tonight. We've still got a couple Article 7s lingering out there. Those come back around in July when people refile or file new cases. Nothing too significant. And that is about it for me.
Okay. On the other end, Captain Thompson, John Thompson, he was the reason why we had a special meeting last Friday. Captain Thompson was promoted last Friday from the role of lieutenant in charge of detectives, and
Thank you.
19-year veteran of our force, and congratulations.
Thank you. We have 102 criminal complaints and 944 non-criminal complaints, with a total of 1,046 criminal complaints. We had 7 stolen vehicles, 8 recovered stolen vehicles. Property damage accidents was 13, injury accidents 5. We had 1 pedestrian struck, and 22 male arrests, 7 female arrests, 53 parking tickets issued, 62 disposed of, for a total of $1,650 in fines paid. And total value of property lost and stolen was $114,176, and recovered property was $106,265. Also, there's been an increase in people coming into the neighborhood, going through cars. We'd like to remind the residents, make sure you lock your doors, keep on the cars, keep them locked, and keep the keys out of them. So they're taking the cars with the keys, and obviously the key is also try to lock it in so they can't get the keys.
All right. Go to our trustees. Trustee Zimba.
Good evening. Composting. If any of our residents are interested in composting, the Northeast South Towns Home Hazardous Waste Material, which we're affiliated, the village is affiliated with, composters, okay? It's $30. You go online to nest.compostersale.com. This will be on our website tomorrow with the village, right, Ms. Regina? But don't call Ms. Regina with questions. If you get the organization's picking up half the cost, so normally it would be $61. This composter with the screen to keep rodents out and the turner to grind stuff up, it's $30. So you go onto the Nest website, you reserve one, it'll be shipped after April 15th to our DPW, and then you got to arrange for pickup after that from the DPW garage. But don't call the DPW. If you got questions, call Village Hall and hit extension 131, and I will get back to you. All the questions should come, through me, guys. My email, dzumba@villageofdepew.org. Email me or call me with the questions. It's, I'll just read a little bit about it. It's lightweight, easy to assemble, adjustable ventilation, so it won't smell, conical shape for easy removal, pesticide restraint lid, 10-year warranty. So It's on the NIST website. If you got questions, call me at extension 131 or email me and I'll get back to you, okay?
Put that on the Facebook too, right?
Do you want it on the Facebook?
Please?
Yep,
Thank you.
perfect.
All right, thanks.
It's a great
That's
deal.
it. That's all I got.
You want to tease them at all with the other thing you got for the summer?
What do I got from someone? Oh, the event in July. The village will be hosting a home hazardous waste drop-off event the second Saturday in July. The location will be the DPW department, again, the grounds there. Exactly what we're gonna take isn't out yet. The flyer will be generated by the county and by Nest. So as soon as that's done, we'll put that out there. You're gonna have to call in for that and make an appointment, but you'll be able to drop off just about any stuff that normally isn't taken, paints, pool chemicals, batteries, stuff like that. It's home hazardous waste that you normally can't get rid of, and it'll be free of charge at the DPW garage. The hours and all the specifics will be coming out soon. I don't have them yet, sorry.
Yeah, we got time.
Thanks.
All right. Appreciate your efforts on that, Darren.
Yeah, we're trying.
Okay. Trustee Hamernick?
I don't have too much to say today. I just wanted to ask everyone for prayers. My brother's not expected to make the night tonight, so just kind of looking. So prayers would really be appreciated. Thank you.
Go to the other side of the table, Trustee Kraft?
I have nothing.
Deputy Mayor Adol?
Just another save the date for your calendars. Arbor Day celebration will be the last weekend in April on Saturday.
27th.
And that's expected, the date will be
27th?
27th, yes, 27th at noon. We'll have saplings again to hand out. The order has been placed, so we'll have trees for the residents
At Fireman.
at Fireman's Park. Yes, thank you. And if you're not able to attend it, hopefully we'll have a few saplings left over where you can contact the village and request a tree. But so keep that on your radar.
Do you have the types out?
Not, gonna make sure we get them all this time. 2 years ago, they forgot to give us one set of trees, so we'll just make sure we get everything that we ordered, and then we'll have them out.
Okay, so since the last meeting, we organized, or at least had the community relations person from DPD, Lieutenant Menard, and we had representation from Depew Fire, Assistant Chief John Huey, begin stages of the planning for National Night Out, which is August 6th, which is the first Tuesday in August, and that will be back over at Fireman's Park. There'll be more coming out as the two of them continue to meet and get things together. I'm looking forward to a fun night out there. And as long as we talk about events in the village, our concert series was finalized, the lineup, it was posted to the Facebook page. Has it been on the website at all yet?
It
I
is
saw
not
it
on
Not
the
yet.
website, but it's on the Facebook page,
Okay.
and we have little handouts too that people can pick up at Village Hall,
Yeah.
put on their fridge.
All right, we have another 8 concerts. They start a week early. We're not doing a concert on July 4th. And one of the concerts on July 18th, which is typically the day before the Founder's Day, that is incorporated as part of Founder's Day. So be in the event stage, and the big tent will be up on Terrace, and it'll kick off a total of 2.5 days. So we have Double Shot, who's on Thursday. We were disappointed we didn't get the Strictly Hip, but then we're happy that we got the Strictly Hip. They are back on our schedule for Friday the 19th, and then the Nerds Gone Wild on Saturday. Glenn Colton is a elementary school guru when it comes to entertainment. Probably your kids know Glenn Colton. I know mine did, and he'll be performing for the kids. We have made an arrangement for our bounce houses. It'll be both Friday and Saturday this year. And we might have a extra musical talent, we'll see.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
We're looking
You guys
into
looking
it.
at me?
Yeah,
Well, if I look that way, then maybe I did.
the Elba Band.
All right, any questions for us on all of that?
I'm going to give a report on the community center.
Oh, there you go.
Let you know about the community center. We're coming along very, very well. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get a certificate of occupancy once we get our fire alarm finished and the ceiling on the stage. We did a co-op with
Looks nice in there.
Thank you, Lancaster Opera House, and we're hoping maybe to open in late spring.
And who visited today?
Bonnie Lockwood from Kathy Hochul's, the executive director from
Governor.
Kathy Hochul's office, right?
Governor.
For governor, oh yeah, from Governor Hochul's office. So it was very nice. They were very impressed.
She bought 2 tickets to support the fundraiser.
Yes, and I'll be selling raffle tickets to all you guys. Salvatore's was generous. Russ was generous to give us dinner for 4 with wine, a jacuzzi package, and dinner for 2. So it's $10 a ticket to benefit our community center. So thank you very much. But please stop over anytime. You're welcome to walk through. You'll be very surprised at what is happening over there.
Looks
Right?
tremendous.
They were surprised this morning?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I think it was a 10-cent tour this morning.
Yeah. But thank you very
Times the
much.
nickel.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, you got anything for us?
Let me see here.
All right. Do you like the color of the room, Paul?
Oh, yes, that was the first thing I was going to say, and I like the lighting here, too,
Yeah,
and the new ceiling,
What are we gonna do with the floor?
much more efficient.
we're working on it.
Yeah,
It's a
we're
little
working
bit
on it.
pricey this morning, so.
Yeah.
I don't know who picked out the colors, but they should be congratulated.
Colorblind guy had something to do with it, but mostly
I
Regina.
saw the swatches on the wall there.
Yeah.
last
We
meeting.
took a poll. We took a poll.
But it was good. Anyhow, as you probably know, the subcontractors for National Fuel Gas is going down our street, replacing the gas lines, both sides of the street. And finally, after more than 4 decades of me complaining about putting the gas meters outside the house so that they don't have to come in the house, down to the basement, read the meter, they are going to do that as part of the new gas lines going in, which I think everybody in my neighborhood is
For all
very
of us?
happy about.
For the rest of the village too?
Not just my street. They do certain sections, I guess, at a time. When I kept calling them over the past more than 4 decades, they just told me, you're on the list. Well, how long is that list? They did.
I'm on some list.
So anyhow, they're doing that, and I wanted to thank Ken and his crew. They took out, they dug up, they're going on the house side of the sidewalk, digging up, putting the line in. So they dug up my front lawn all the way across, parallel to the sidewalk. But there's a big tree root in front of my house that they dug up and left it there, and I didn't even have to call the DPW to pick it up. They were there with the grinder, picked it up, ground it up, and it wasn't an hour later where the street sweeper came by and took care of both sides of the street. So I just wanted to thank,
Get spoiled.
I wanted to thank you and your department for your efficiency. And I also, last week, got a postcard in the mail from NYSEG. They're replacing the electric meters. I don't know if it's the whole village, but they're doing my street.
I think they're gonna be able to read from the street,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
yeah,
Wireless, they're going wireless with everything.
Right.
which is good. I just wanted to update you on, the good things that are happening. I think that's about all I've got.
All right.
Thank you.
No, anything online?
No.
All right. So we can move to claims and accounts.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees,
We're all set, right? Sorry.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that the claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are approved for payment as follows.
From the general fund, $145,157.62. 0 from community development, Sewer fund is $1,301.17, and capital projects is $3,073.50 for a total of $1,449,531.84.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. And next to be, take us into executive session, please.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make the following motion that we move into executive session regarding a personnel matter at 7:48 PM.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried.
We are back.
All right. Andrew, if you can bring us back from executive session?
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to bring us back from executive session today at 8:32 PM, and no decisions were made.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Last is the adjournment.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried, and it looks like 8:32.
8:32.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.